Hey guys, Mighty Gazelle here, and I'm sure you're all wondering, all my subscribers, what the hell is this video, Mighty Gazelle? This isn't anime or gaming. Why are you doing NFL picks for 2018? While I do love anime and video games, I have a third passion, and that is NFL. I love football. I really, really do. I have for a long time. Played flag football. I played high school football. I played college football. And I love, love, love the NFL, everything about it. And this video series is more so just kind of for myself. I know it sounds kind of selfish, but I just always wanted to make weekly picks that people can make fun of and just talk about in the comments. I'm not sure how many NFL fans I have on my channel, but for everyone who's finding my channel from outside, just viewing, oh, who's going to win this week? Picks, welcome. I'm going to do this once a week, and just see how I do. It's going to be for fun. I record these every Tuesday night. That's the plan. Got my Vikings mug that my friend got me for my birthday. And yeah, let's see if we can't pick some games and see how we do. The NFL season starts this Thursday with Falcons versus Eagles. I'm going to go through every single game and give my picks. I don't really know who's favored or not favored. I am not an expert. This is just my own opinion. I do my research on these teams by myself, as well as watch them on Sundays and primetime games, obviously. So it's purely just my own fans' opinion. So don't get too mad at me. And don't bet with my picks, because I don't want to make you lose money. We'll see how I do the first few weeks, and if I'm reliable, then go for it. First game of the week, this Thursday night, we have Falcons at Eagles. Eagles are obviously the Super Bowl champions, or the defending Super Bowl champions. And they have an issue. They have an issue that at the quarterback position, and namely that Carson Wentz is hurt. Well, he's not hurt. He's coming back from an injury. And the Falcons are coming into town with a very complete roster. Obviously, Nick Foles won the Super Bowl for the Eagles, but I don't really think that he's going to be good out the gate, kind of like he was toward the end of last year. He even struggled when he got put in last year, right at the beginning. So I'm going to give this game to the Falcons. They win 27-17. That number doesn't matter. I'm just going to make them up. So let's see. Game number 2, we have Bills at Ravens. The Bills might have the worst roster in the NFL this year. It's between them and the Bucks. And they're going to Baltimore to face the Ravens, who I'm not the biggest Joe Flacco fan, but I do think he is superior to whatever the Bills are going to throw out on the field week 1. And I just think they have an overall better roster, and it's at Baltimore, so I think it's going to be a fairly easy win for the Ravens. The score, let's go 24-10, kind of low scoring relatively. Third game, we have Jaguars at Giants. I actually think this could be a really good game. I think the Giants are going to be much more improved than they were last year. Obviously, last year the Giants were not a very good team. They kind of stumbled to a pretty bad record. Well, there's like 2-14, 3-13. It wasn't very good. Meanwhile, the Jaguars were obviously in the AFC Championship, nearly beating the Patriots. They had a great year. But they have Blake Bortles as a quarterback, which, say what you want about Blake Bortles, he helped that team get to where they did last year. And it's at New York. The Giants just added a great running back, and I think it's Saquon Barkley. He showed a lot in the preseason. I think this would be a very good game. I am going to give the edge to the Jaguars, though, just because their defense is so dominant. And but I don't know. Blake Bortles could mess it up for him. But I'll go Jaguars. It'll be 20-14. Next game, we have Buccaneers at Saints. This should be a stomping by the Saints, unless they come out the gate this season kind of slow. Obviously, the Saints had a very good year last year. They were 3-13 or 13-3, or was it 12-4? One of the two. Drew Brees still playing at a great level, even though he's 40 years old. And they're welcoming the Bucs, who, like I said earlier, might have one of the worst rosters in the NFL. And they don't even have their starting quarterback because Jameis Winston is suspended. Give me the Saints at home. That'd be the biggest upset of the week if the Saints lost. So yeah, I'm going to go 34-10 in that game. Texans at Patriots. Depending on how Deshaun Watson plays, this could be a sneaky fun game. I don't think it'll be extremely close, but Deshaun Watson was very flashy and showed a lot of promise last year, but he is coming off an ACL tear. So we'll see how that happens, but it's at home with the Patriots. They tend to do very well in their openers, especially at home. I'm just going to give it to Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. They do what they do, and they'll handle the Texans 24-17. It'll be not like that. Yeah, it'll be close. It'll be a close game. Next, we have the 49ers at the Vikings. And if you couldn't tell by my shirt and my mug that I proudly showed off, I am a massive Vikings fan. They find a way to break my heart every year, but, you know, that's part of being a fan. The Niners, obviously, the big acquisition was Jimmy G last year, Jimmy Garoppolo. He's shown a lot of promise, and I do think that he is a definitely franchise quarterback for the future for them. Only issue being they lost Jerick McKinnon, their starting running back, recently to an ACL tear. As a Vikings fan, I've watched Jerick McKinnon with the Vikings for years, and he's good, but you know they were kind of relying on him to be their star running back, and losing him does hurt the team. And I think overall, the Vikings, they could either soar extremely high this season or they could fall on their face flat and not do very well. It all depends on Kirk Cousins, obviously, but regardless, they're at home with that loud stadium and the defense, which might be the best defense in the NFL. I personally say so, and that's not being biased. Just look at the roster. I do think the Vikings will win this game. I'll go 24-14. Titans at Dolphins. This is one that I will definitely not be watching because I'm not really a fan of either team at all. I'm not really interested in them. I do like Marcus Mariota. We'll say that. Dolphins, they still have Ryan Tannehill, who I am not convinced, and I don't think the organization is convinced that he is a franchise quarterback. They're keeping him on the team, but I feel like that's just because there's such even an average quarterback in the NFL is worth something. The Titans come in off of a very strange season where they won in surprising fashion in the playoffs, but then got steamrolled the next week by the Patriots. They have a brand new coach, and they still have, obviously, Marcus Mariota. I'm going to give this game to the Titans. I think that the better quarterback play, and in general, the Titans' defense is also a little bit better than the Dolphins. It's at Miami, but I'm going to give it to the Titans. I think they win 17-7. Yeah, that sounds about right. Bengals at Colts. I am actually one of the few people who think Andy Dalton is a guy who you can trust a little bit to win some games. I know, like obviously, he's been kind of a disappointment in some degree in Cincinnati, but they're going to Indianapolis with Andrew Luck returning. I do think Andrew Luck is going to have a nice bounce back season this year. Obviously, the strangest injury ever. Like, he just didn't see the field for the past 2 years, basically. But do I think Andrew Luck's going to come out the gate swinging? You know what? I'll give it to the Colts. It'll be a close game. I don't really know what to expect from the Bengals this year. They could be pretty good. They could be pretty bad. It's either way. The Colts at home with Andrew Luck in the building. I think the stadium will be rocking. And yeah, I'm going to give it to the Colts. Let's go 14-10. Be kind of a defensive battle. Okay, so next we have Steelers at Browns. Browns obviously coming off an 0-16 year. Very disappointing, very, very disappointing for Browns fans. Not only that, but the year before that they were 1-15, so they've won one game in the past 2 years. I do think they will be a better team this year. I think most people think that. They have Baker Mayfield, who's shown a lot in the preseason. A lot of promising aspects to him. And you have a Steelers team which Mike Tomlin, throughout his whole tenure with the Steelers, has always had these games where they just hang around with the really bad teams and they don't play to their level that they should. And just because I do not respect the Steelers that much in that regard, I'm going to go with Browns. Browns, you win your opener. No 0-16 talk again after this week. You win your first game. You guys win 27-17. That's my upset of the week. Why not? I think the Browns have some mojo behind them. I like the pieces they've added to the team, and I think the Steelers can easily start the season kind of slow. Steelers fans, don't get mad at me. I think you guys will definitely go to the playoffs this year. I just think he'll start slow. Next, we have Chiefs at Chargers. Now, the Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes now at the starting quarterback position. They traded Alex Smith to the Redskins. The Chiefs, they have a really just deprived defense. It's going to be all on their offense this year. It's a lot of pressure on Mahomes to perform. Not pressure. I think they're going to give him some leeway. But they're going to the Chargers. And don't get me wrong, the Chargers don't have a great home field advantage at the moment. I think having two teams in LA is definitely sort of a strange deal. And the Chargers are playing at StubHub, which isn't a very big stadium. So, but regardless of that, the Chargers have a much better team. The defense is definitely a top 5 in the NFL, in my own opinion, if they play to their level. And then I love Phillip Rivers, and I think they just signed Antonio Gates again. I'm not sure how well he'll do, but they signed him, so... and I'm going to go Chargers, 27-23. Yeah, sure. Seahawks at Broncos. How the mighty have fallen. Like 4 years ago, this would be a star matchup. There'd be such beastly players at each team. But now they're a shell of their former selves. The Seahawks, obviously, the whole Legion of Boom is gone. The Broncos, obviously Peyton Manning's gone, and their defense, it's still kind of good, but they're missing a few people. Aqib Talib is... Wait, has he been gone? I don't know. I don't follow the Broncos too much. But their quarterback is Case Keenum, who obviously I saw a lot of last year as a Vikings fan. And I do think Case Keenum will have a decent year this year. I don't know if he'll live up to what he did last year, but that's because he was on a really good team. But I'm going to give it to... but the Seahawks have Russell Wilson, who can win a game on his own like this. I'm just going to give it to the Broncos. Home field, tough place to play at Mile High Stadium. And I think Case Keenum leads them to a win. Start 1-0. They win 20-17. It'll be a close one. All right, we got Cowboys at Panthers. Cowboys obviously have Ezekiel Elliott and Dak Prescott, who can do a lot of the good things on offense, but their offensive line has started to crumble from what it used to be. About 2 to 3 years ago, they easily had the best offensive line in the NFL. This year, they've been a little bit banged up. I think they lost one of them due to retirement, I think. Could be wrong. And they're at Carolina, who I'm not the biggest Cam Newton fan, but I do think at home, Carolina, starting the season, it's going to be loud. And I think that McCaffrey is going to play well. And I don't know. I'm just going to give it to the Panthers. I think that they'll handle their business at home. Panthers win 27-20. Redskins at Cardinals. I think this will be a fun game to watch. I know people aren't really having high hopes for the Redskins or the Cardinals this year, but the Cardinals have Josh Rosen. Obviously, he's not starting this game. It's Sam Bradford. And they're at home against the Redskins, who signed Adrian Peterson. And I do think Adrian Peterson is set up to have one last kind of great year. I'm not saying 2,000 yards or anything. I'm thinking more like 1,000 yards, roughly. I think they'll use him a lot at goal line, so he'll get a lot of touchdowns as well. And the Redskins also have Alex Smith, and I think that he is more than capable at getting a win. So I'm going to give this game to the Redskins, even on the road. They'll win 20-16. Then last game on Sunday, we have the Bears at Packers. The rivalry, the oldest rivalry in the NFL, has a little bit of juice to it this year. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers is coming back from his collarbone injury. So the Packers, I don't know if he'll start out red hot like he's always been, because collarbone's kind of a weird thing for quarterbacks. But they're at home, which is great because Aaron Rodgers plays like a god at home. I would know. I watch him 2 times a year or once a year at home as a poor Vikings fan. And the Bears, meanwhile, just got Khalil Mack. Obviously, huge addition. I don't know how quickly he'll be able to pick up the playbook, so who knows if he'll have an immediate impact like week 1. But he'll be there, and he'll definitely put pressure on Aaron Rodgers. And the Bears in general are much more respectful than they've been. I think that Pat Nagy, their new coach, I really liked what he did in Kansas City, and I think he'll do a very good job with the Bears. But that being said, I do think the Packers are I think Aaron Rodgers just means so much to a team, and I think they'll handle business. But I think this will be a closer game than people think. Packers win 20-17. It'll be a good close game, I think. All right, so we got 2 more games to go. We have the Jets at Lions on Monday Night Football. The Jets obviously have Sam Darnold as their new quarterback, which is promising. He's going to be starting. He's the only rookie quarterback this year to be starting a game. And he is going to the Lions, who the Lions are kind of the oddball team in the NFC North right now, where they could be really good, they could be not so good. They didn't really add a whole lot to their team in the offseason. Obviously, they drafted some decent players. Matthew Stafford is improving steadily as his career goes on, which is pretty surprising because he kind of plateaued with his Calvin Johnson years because he would just throw it to Calvin Johnson all the time. But recently, he's been much better. I just think the Lions have a better roster. I do really like Sam Darnold with the Jets, but I do think the Lions will handle it at home. They'll start 1-0. Well, they'll win. The Jets have a pretty bad defense right now, so I'm going to go 27-17. Rams at Raiders, the last game of the week on Monday Night Football. We have Jared Goff, who had a much better sophomore year than he did his freshman year at the NFL level. He played much better last year. I think Sean McVay really helped him kind of grow as a player. They obviously have Todd Gurley, and they're at the Raiders, who John Gruden, like, you give up Khalil Mack, like, he's an all-star player. I don't really have any faith at all in John Gruden, and I don't want to get Raiders fans mad at me because I respect the Raiders as a team. I've always kind of liked the Raiders, but I do not like John Gruden, what he's doing there. It just all seems kind of off to me, and I'm not a big fan of it. So I'm going to go Rams. The Rams are just a very star-studded team, and I think they'll handle their business at the Raiders. They'll win 24-17. And that'll do it, guys. That's my first week of NFL picks. Again, to all my subscribers who have already subscribed to me, I know this isn't probably your cup of tea. Maybe there are some NFL fans out there, but I just kind of want to try it. It's kind of fun, and it's a video I really just enjoy. I enjoy talking about football. I really do. And I wanted to share my opinions for the past couple of years on my channel. But again, this will only be one video a week, so don't expect this to take up any time, and you don't have to watch it. So, but as to everyone else who joined in this week, who found me just by searching up NFL game picks, hope you enjoyed. Hope you can see that I know some decent amount about the NFL, and yeah, I hope you join me every week. I don't know how well I'll do this week. Week 1's always the toughest because you think you know something about one team, but then it turns out you don't. So, you know, it'd be really cool to see how I do at the end of the year. I'll add up all my wins and losses and stuff. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Once a week, I'll do this. I'll post this every Wednesday before the Thursday game, obviously, and et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, this has been Mighty Gazelle. Hoping you all have a mighty day. See you guys.